Welcome to Coffee Buzz Club channel. In this video, we will talk about what's the best way to brew a perfect cup of Peaberry coffee. Peaberry is known as a champagne of coffees. It's unique, rare, and not to mention expensive. Regarding how high other people see Peaberry coffees, is there also a unique way of brewing them. Brewing coffee is an art. For some, it's an inexpensive way to get the best quality coffee without ever leaving home. And for Peaberry coffee lovers, it could be a whole new experience. Brewing the most expensive and exquisite coffee in the world can give you a few jitters. Ease your nervousness by going through our advice on the best way to brew Peaberry coffee. The best way to brew Peaberry coffee. There isn't the best way to brew Peaberry coffee. However, there are specific steps that you can take to make a perfect brew. The first thing to be mindful of is how you store the Peaberry coffee beans. These beans should be stored in an airtight container, away from sunlight and damp places. Each cup of Peaberry coffee is special, and so you should only grind the needed amount for that brew. Here are a few steps you can take to make sure that each brew is the best you've ever tasted. The French press is the most recommended way for these coffee beans. To get that started, follow these steps. Heat water at the right temperature. Somewhere between 195 and 205 Fahrenheit is ideal. If it is any hotter than that, the coffee grind will burn when you add the water. Clean a French press thoroughly and add a tablespoon of Peaberry coffee to every 4 ounces of water. Make sure to stir the coffee several times so the grounds interact with the hot water. Then plunge slowly after allowing the coffee to steep for 3 to 5 minutes. For people who prefer using an automatic coffee maker, then follow these steps. Grind about 1.5 or 2 tablespoons of Peaberry coffee beans per 6 ounces of water to a medium coarse. You can either use a burr or blade grinder, depending on your preference. Clean out the coffee pot with warm water. Return to the heating pad. Put the filtered water in the reservoir. Put the medium coarse grind coffee beans into the filter. Put the lid on the coffee maker and get it started. Enjoy a perfectly brewed cup of Peaberry coffee. Tips on brewing a perfect cup of Peaberry coffee. This guide will provide you some helpful tips on brewing the perfect cup of Peaberry coffee beans. 1. Grind your whole Peaberry beans. Make sure you only grind the necessary amount of coffee to prepare today's brew. In most cases, coarse grinds are preferred for French presses, while medium grind is preferred for drip coffee makers. But experts say that in order for Peaberry beans to taste the best, they need to be ground to a medium. 2. Know which water you should use. The best quality water is purified or fresh spring water, which is healthier for you and tastes better than bottled water. Keep in mind that most of what a brewed coffee is made up of is water. Water should be cold while pouring it into the coffee maker to save the specific taste during the brewing process. A recommended temperature range is 190 degrees F to 205 degrees F for brewing. 3. Know your ratios. It is recommended you use 2 tablespoons of ground coffee for every 6 ounces of water when brewing coffee. 4. Keep the brewing time in mind. The ideal brewing time is considered to be around 4 minutes. 5. Filter quality is important. Make sure to use filters wisely. The flavor and aroma of coffee may be affected by paper filters. According to coffee connoisseurs, these filter tastes can influence even the freshest of coffee. 6. A clean brewing machine makes a difference. If you want to make the perfect cup of Peaberry coffee each time, ensure that the machine is clean after each use. Otherwise, even a small amount of residue on the filters, pot, and accessories can significantly reduce the quality of your brewed beverage. Why is Peaberry coffee so expensive? While Peaberry coffee isn't everyone's cup of tea, some people find it worth the cost, even if it's expensive. But why is Peaberry so costly? Buddha's Cup published an article discussing the uniqueness of Peaberry coffee beans. Coffee enthusiasts looking for the champagne of coffee will quickly find that Peaberry coffee is more expensive by around $5 per pound. This is due to the rarity of this exquisite coffee. Not only are Peaberries hard and unpredictable to find, but they also require hand sorting, separate roasting, and careful handling. The Peaberry coffee beans are rare, thereby requiring more time to accumulate enough to fill a bag. These coffee beans are hand sorted by each worker and require intricate roasting and handling, which is why it's so expensive. Is Peaberry coffee less acidic? Peaberry coffee is more expensive than regular Kona because of its limited supply and is roasted with extra care. Peaberry reacts differently to heat because of its size. When roasted properly, they can yield more flavor with less acidity. What is the best method to brew coffee at home? Each person likes their coffee brewed in specific ways, but for most prefer convenience. The auto-drip brewing method is the most popular way to make coffee. The ease and comfort in making coffee through an auto-drip are beloved by many who share a hectic morning routine. It's great for making a quick batch for many people. Indeed, it's a convenient way to have your cup of joe. How do I make the perfect cup of coffee in a coffee maker? Making a perfect cup of coffee couldn't be easier when you're using your home brewer. Just follow these steps. Use filtered cold water. You can use 2 tablespoons of ground coffee for every 6 ounces of water, which is usually 1 cup on your brewer. 195 to 205 degrees is the perfect temperature for coffee. If you boil water, let it sit for 30 seconds first. 212 degrees is a little too hot for coffee. Before brewing, rinse your filter with hot water. Use a bleached oxygen filter. Pour enough water over the grounds to bloom. Make sure they aren't saturated. After 30 to 45 seconds, continue to pour over. This will ensure that your coffee has the most flavor. What's the healthiest way to brew coffee? Research indicates that drinking boiled or pressed coffee with no filter can increase the risk of death in men over 60 due to an elevated cardiovascular mortality rate. However, it was found that drinking a filtered coffee, for example, with a paper filter was healthier than drinking no coffee at all. That's it for this video. Thank you for watching. Please smash the like and subscribe button and comment down below what coffee contents would you want us to cover in the next video.